At the start there was a girl watching a K-pop, and she was really into it. And at the streets while she is going home, she ran away from their friends, to which she says that she have to go to home quickly. After returning home she was really happy to have a Blu-ray version of someone's concert, and she goes on by thinking that she already prepared her dinner yesterday itself. And she even finished her homework at the school, so she can now enjoy her idol's concert. And her name is Fujimoto Himari, who lives through by watching her idol's concert to get daily energy. And in her television there is a guy yapping about some idol stuff, and his name is Shibata Sora. And right after he started to appear as an idol, he became the #1 idol in just a small span of time. And the reason for that is, he points someone in the audience, and says that he also loved them from his heart. Because of his fan service, he climbed the ladder to the top idol with ease. And there isn't rumors of him using binoculars to give fan service to the people in the back. And Shibata Sora is Guy, who is the king of the fan service. And she goes on by thinking that because of his fan service she had fallen for him. And she was thinking that she wants to attend his concert at least once. And suddenly she receives a mail, which was a lottery result. And to her surprise it says that she has won the lottery ticket and got a free ticket to the concert. And she goes on by thinking that she lost many and many time. And at last she won the ticket. And this made her beyond shocked. She then became so happy that she doesn't know what to do next. And she goes on by thinking that it's her star's first dome concert. She really wants to see his big moment in real life. And she gets up, thinking that she now needs to prepare for the concert. And suddenly her sisters comes in by telling her to help with their homework. And after coming in, they asks Himari on what she is doing, to which she says that she is preparing for the concert. Hearing that, they were shocked and happy, and they said congratulations to her. And with a smug face she says that she will definitely come home by receiving some fan service. And she goes on by thinking that even getting ready for the concert is so fun. But then she comes to the realization, which was her being too happy to get there might trigger some bad things making her not to go. And after hearing her shouting, her sisters tells her to be careful for not getting a cold. And on the concert day, and to her surprise, her both sisters got a fever. And she was really shocked to find out that both of their parents have work today. And she tells them to stay in their room while she finds a doctor for them. But their sisters just reminds her about the concert she have today, and they will be fine after eating pills. Hearing that, she stood there for a minute, and she shouts that they are more important than that concert. Afterwards she goes by telling them to get ready since she found an hospital. But Himari had her regret for not able to go. And then time goes on, she then thinks that if she misses this concert she can go on another one. While thinking that she is glad that her sister's fever is gone down. And after lying in her bed, Himari got really sad and depressed for not being able to attend her idol's concert. And suddenly she receives a notification. To her surprise, it was Shibata Sora, and he started a live stream. After seeing that, she was silent for a minute. And after realizing it, her sadness and depression had ran away. And in that live he says that it's kind of an awkward time to do this live stream. And she was really happy and started think that he is saying something really cute. And she started to type a comment, says, "I love you." But then he says that thanks for all the comments, and if it's in normal circumstances he would have read all the comments. And she realizes that his concert is about to start. And she started to wonder then why is he streaming. And he says that he is going to give his best in today's concert, making it unforgettable to his fans. And after saying that, he cut the steam. But this made Himari shocked. And she started to think that something feels off here, since he usually doesn't stream at a time like this. And in the end she decides to not overthink about it. And after a while she started to think of a reason about his live stream. And in the end she thinks that she feels bad to leave an empty space in his concert. After that she thinks of the concert. She was about to cry thinking it must be nice to go there. And all of a sudden someone comes home. And Himari realizes that her mom came home sooner. To which she says that she finished her work at lightning speed. And she realizes that it's already too late for the concert. And after hearing that she smilingly says it's okay, since there will be more concerts will come. And she was really sad thinking that there is sure she will attend another concert. And all of the sudden her sisters comes out of the room. And after seeing them Himari says that she will get them food to eat. And suddenly their mother asks them if they want apples to eat. And after seeing her mom, their sisters started to shout saying that she should head to the concert. And they goes on by pushing her from her back, saying her long-awaited concert is happening today. And Himari thinks that maybe this might be a last concert. And in the end she decides to go to the concert. And after realizing that she leaves the house. And she reached to the train station and realizes that all trains have been shut down. And she was shocked to see that. But she never gave up and she started to sprint again. And she ran all the way to the concert. And she realizes that she made it right before the show ended. And she looks at the audience. And realizes that she forgot her light stick and every fan things. And while she was thinking about that her idol comes in the stage. And he started to wave hi to everyone in the stage. And she was speechless. And after seeing him she started to think that whatever she just forgot it doesn't really matter. Since her idol is standing in front of her. But then Sabita Sora looks at her. And he waves hi to her. And she was also looking at him directly in the eyes. And he just says thanks for everyone's support. While she is thinking that they just made eye contact. Even though she was one of 50,000 people she doesn't really care about it. And Himari was really happy that she started to cry. While saying I love you to Sora. And she goes on by thinking that next time she will shout it harder. And their concert comes to an end. And Sora's buddy was saying today was really fun isn't? And Himari was shocked since that was the last song. And she goes on by thinking that it would have been better to see the whole thing. While she was thinking about that Sabita says that he have something important to announce. Which was him saying that he is going to quit being an idol from today onwards. And this made her feel dead inside. But then all of them started panic thinking why is he retiring all of a sudden, and she even dropped her ticket saying that so this is their last concert. Afterwards she goes on by thinking that she doesn't knew on what happened after that. And somehow she made back to her home. And she even cried all night thinking about their disband and retirement news. In the end she somehow managed to get to school. And after coming to school she was fully down. And all of the sudden Himari's friend calls her, and she started to shake her by saying that her idol retired. And seeing Himari's reaction her friend realizes that she is not okay at all. After that her friend tells her to go to the nurse room, since she doesn't look good. To which she accepts and decides to go there after dropping her stuffs in the classroom. And while she was walking through the hallway, everybody was talking about the retirement news. And that news was trending #1. And they're all laughing while saying that they really enjoyed watching Sora but he retired. And they goes on by saying that he is so pathetic for retiring. But Himari thinks to herself that it's not true. And she goes on by thinking that this love isn't a substitute for romance. But rather it's like an bright star. And she thinks that he always bright upped her world. But this morning she lost her light. And this made her to cry again. But then she realizes that the world moves on like nothing really happened. Since it's just one idol's retirement. But she will be the only one that will be left behind. And she arrives at the nurse office. She realizes that there is no teacher in the class. And she looks at someone lying on the floor. and she was standing there silently. Then she started to panic and thinking if he is okay. Afterwards she decides to put him in the bed. And she slowly picks him up and slowly walks near the bed. But before she could put him down, she also fallen in the bed with him. And then she looks at him. And to her surprise he was a good-looking guy. And she was mesmerized by his looks. But then he suddenly wakes up. And he says, "When did I fell asleep?" While she was blushing really hard. And she goes on by thinking that he is the person that will change her life. Afterwards she was starting to wonder maybe it's that Sora. Or is he a look-alike? And she goes on by thinking that his face is so good. And she suddenly starts to yap just by herself, thinking that he has a smooth skin and good-looking eyelashes. But all of a sudden he gets back. And at the same time he got hit in the bed. Afterwards he goes on by thinking that a news might pop up like after retirement the famous idol attacked a girl. And then she tells the truth about him lying in the floor. To which he thanks her for helping him. Afterwards she looks at him. And thinks that until yesterday he was at the concert, but she can't believe that he is next to her right now. And then he gets up and leaves the room. But before he could leave, Himari asks him if he is the guy from that idol. And Sora realizes that she might be a fan, while Himari is just standing there silently, thinking on what she should do, since she wants to tell him on how much she loves him. But she can't get the words out of her mouth. And then suddenly he asks her, "So you are a fan?" And he goes on by grabbing her hands and pulls her towards him. After grabbing it, he asks her to tell her name, to which she replied. And Himari was fully flustered. And Sora calls her by her name and tells to her that meeting like this is like a fate, isn't? And she started to panic inside her since she is touching that Sora. And in the end she got knocked out. But before she could fall, Sora catches her. And he tells to her if he made her nervous. If so, let's take a deep breath. And he goes on by saying that, "It's not a problem since I am with you." But Himari thinks that he is the problem.